So you've probably had this experience before, right? The teacher is handing back a test, and you see that one kid that starts to throw an absolute fit because he didn't get the grade he wanted. Or you see that basketball player absolutely lose their cool on the basketball court. Or you've probably just seen those Karens losing it videos on YouTube. All of these are examples of people who are emotionally weak and who do not have emotional control. And so that's what I would like to teach you today. I want to teach you the importance of emotional control, as well as how to gain it and how to track your emotional control and your emotional control growth. So how much control you actually have over your emotions, and you'll be able to see that change over time. So if you're like me, then you've definitely seen Stoic videos on YouTube. You might have read a couple of books on Stoicism, right? I've read a couple of Ryan Holiday's book, and I've read a book called How to Be a Stoic, right? Stoicism is a philosophy that really interests me, and one of their main arguments or main points or main pillars, right, to this philosophy is emotional control. You must be able to control your emotions in order to live a good life, right? The person who throws a fit when they don't get the right amount of pickles in their burger at the restaurant, or the person who throws a fit when they don't get the grade they want on a test, will never win in life. It's the person who's able to stand through hardship, who's able to control their emotions through hard times, that will win. How do we increase our emotional control, and how is it, like I said before, that we can track how emotionally aware we are and how much control we have over our emotions? Well, I think, and first of all, disclaimer, I'm not saying that we should never be in touch with our emotions, right? I'm not saying never cry. I'm not saying never smile. I'm not saying never laugh, right? All of these are human experiences, right? And we have to go through hardships time and time again. And so I want to teach you how you can control your emotions in those hardships, and how with emotional control you can actually reframe hardships to actually transform them from a thing that seems like a bad experience to something that will actually make you into a better person. So the key to emotional control is simply to become conscious of the unconscious. Like, sometimes it boggles my mind that some people just like do random shit and they're unconscious of it. Like, I don't know, when some people are unpolite and they don't seem to care about it in any way. Sometimes I'm always surprised when people are just unconscious of the unconscious. They're not actually aware of the things that they're doing, and I'm just like, like, what? Not saying I'm perfect, right? I'm still learning, but a lot of people are basically just sleepwalking, right? They're NPCs, they're bots, right? They're sleepwalking through life, and so they aren't conscious of the unconscious. Their decisions, their responses to events are just programmed, and they never become conscious of the fact that, maybe I shouldn't have reacted in this way, or this person hurt me, but maybe I should be grateful for this experience and see what I can learn from it. Alright, maybe I shouldn't play a victim mindset. Maybe I should have reacted this way and not get all defensive when this person said this to me. So when I mean becoming conscious of the unconscious, I just mean becoming aware of your emotional reactions to certain things. If somebody makes a remark at you, or if somebody, says just makes fun of you, how do you emotionally react to it? I'm not saying, get all passive and, let that shit slide. I'm just saying, if you become aware of how it is that your body reacts, how your emotions react. Do you tense up when somebody says something to you? Do you immediately maybe not say anything, but just like shit talk them in your head? How is it that you react when you're put in an uncomfortable situation? Because so many people are not even aware of how they react, right? They react, but then they don't actually think to themselves, how should I have reacted? Was this appropriate in this situation? Blah, blah, blah. They never actually question their unconscious mind. So becoming conscious of the unconscious is simply a matter of, when a situation arises in which you feel like you could have exerted better emotional control, or you feel that, this didn't play out how I wanted it to be, become conscious of how you reacted, right? When you got a bad grade, were you like, fuck, I'm so shit, I'm so bad, I'll never get a good grade? When you got rejected by that girl, were you like, of course, she was out of my league, she was this, she was that, I'm never gonna get a girlfriend? How is it that you react to certain events? It's key to simply becoming more emotionally stoic and having more control over your emotions. So emotional control is just key to a great life, because if you can take harsh events, bad experiences, and you can reframe them through emotional control into experiences that you now uplift you and maybe even better your life, well, that's just a great thing. Like, I'm not saying, oh, if you're bullied, like, bow down to the bullies and say, I'm emotionally stoic, right? I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just the calm guy who doesn't say anything. Sometimes being emotionally aware and having control over your emotions is saying, yeah, okay, he's making fun of me. I'm not gonna let that shit slide, but I'm not gonna bark at him. Being able to stay calm, stay stoic in a situation which other people would not be, just makes things so much better, and you improve as a person so much when you actually become conscious of the unconscious. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but like, the growth that comes from reshaping events and controlling your reactions to things is like, it's incredible. And the thing that so many people, like, I don't get, that people don't realize they can't control outside events, right? You can't control outside events, and the one thing you can control is it's your mind. And so instead of putting all of your energy on trying to control this outside event, on trying to brainwash the teacher into giving you an A, and instead of trying to control every little thing in life, control your mind. That's the one guaranteed thing you can control. And if you can control that, well, you've won, right? You've won, because you're not worried about controlling what test you're gonna grade, how this game is gonna go. You're simply controlling your mind. You're focused on that one thing, and if you can control it well, then all the other events, will just seem like a part of life. So now we get to the part where I said that you can track your emotional growth, and this is the habit for this video. From now on, keep a journal, or even just a few notes, maybe do it on your phone, whatever it is. Find a way to, every single day, at the end of the day, try to keep a list of like every encounters in which you think you weren't emotionally stable, and in which you think you could have maybe responded to in a better way. Or like, for example, if somebody made fun of you, or if somebody said something to you and you suddenly got all defensive, or if somebody said something to you and you fucking punched them in the face, right? Like, write all of those things down, and then ask yourself how it is that you could have maybe better managed the situation, or how it is that you could have controlled your emotions in a way that would have bettered the situation and bettered both people in the interaction. And so this video wasn't like, be in your Sigma Alpha, never talk to anybody, don't show emotions, don't smile, don't laugh. Like, I actually saw a video the other day where like a dude was like, don't laugh. You can't be laughing in life. Men don't laugh because laughing shows weakness. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, how can you tell people not to laugh and say that's like emotional control, right? I'm not saying to be a fucking wall and to never show emotion, never smile, never cry. I'm just saying that regulating your emotions is key to reshaping events in life, and reshaping events in life in a way that will improve you is key to living a good life, right? If every single thing that you come across becomes a shit experience in your mind, well, you're just gonna have a shit life. But if you can be emotionally stable enough to realize that not everything in life is out to get you, you'll live a much better life than the people who just constantly like think they have a shit life, right? And so keeping track of your emotions and of how you reacted to certain things is key to better understanding yourself and to quote-unquote tracking your growth, right? Because if you start now, in 6 months you might be like, I got all defensive 6 months ago, but now when somebody says this to me, I don't get offended, and I don't get all defensive, and I try to understand that person's point of view, right? That's where true growth comes from. Alright, I hope this helped you, and I cannot wait to see the progress that you make. Cheers, bro.